keep that on up. Whatever.
Your love record.
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Are you on probation or parole?
Not current.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record that you please?
No, Your Honor.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No, Your Honor.
You're doing this voluntarily
Yes, Your Honor.
of your own free will
Yes.
and because you believe that you're guilty of these offenses?
Yes, Your
All right, starting in the case ending in 350. See if I can find my paperwork.
Fucking judges, yeah, same.
Case ending in 350 on the date between March 11th, 2025 and March 16th, 2025. What did you do with reference to a Karis Poli that makes you think that you're guilty of this offense?
Honor. I violated my PPO.
All right, you had a PPO in place that you were to stay away from that person and not contact them?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you did contact them between those dates
Yes, Your Honor.
on one occasion or repeated occasions?
Repeated occasion.
All right. In the case ending in 341, on the date of March 22nd, 2025, what'd you do as a reference to a Karis Poli?
Same thing, repeated offense.
Okay, but that was on that same date. You violated the PPO
Yes, Your Honor.
of repeated contact to that individual?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Counsel, have I complied with the court rule and would it be proper to accept this defendant's plea?
People are satisfied, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's pleas to count two in each case. Count one is dismissed. Pre-sentence investigation and report is ordered in both cases. Sentencing will occur
April 17th at 11 a.m. before the bar.
April 17th, 2025, 11 a.m. before Judge Barr. Bond will
Your
continue.
Honor, may I just
I knew it. Go ahead.
Your Honor, Mr. Morales is a 23-year-old devoted father of three. He is the sole provider for both his mother and his two children. He is actually working to better his life and enroll in school this summer to enhance his education and future job prospects. He acknowledges in his Francis violation of PTO, and I believe it was just a misunderstanding between the witness. There was no malicious intent in any way. If you were to look at those
Pardon? There was no.
malicious intent for him to, like when he was sending those messages to the complaining witness, you would see that they were not out of goodwill. He didn't know that it was a violation, Your Honor, to message him. To message her if she reached out first. It was all miscommunication. It wasn't done to purposely violate his PTO. Mr. Morales now understands.
Did he have knowledge of the PPO?
He did. but
Yeah,
he-
oh, okay.
I think he just misunderstood that even if she consents to it, it still would be a violation, but now he's fully aware of that, and does not plan on ever speaking to her again. He just wants to take care of his two children and be a better father and a son to his mother. He has a home to stay with his mother, and his waiting witness lives somewhere else.
So when the first set of incidents occurred, he thought that was consensual? That was a question.
Yes,
And so then when the second one occurred, he thought that that same thing was still okay after being contacted about the first ones?
No, Your Honor, that's, this, if I may, Just,
Well, you got an attorney, so I don't know if you really want to talk, but go ahead.
you want me to remain silent?
No, Your Honor, I believe Mr. Morales, the first time, it was, I'm understanding, is who reached out first. I don't believe that there was any contact on his end. The first time, second time there was, after the complaining witness did try to reach out, and he did reach out back.
Responding to people.
Your Honor, we'll leave it at the discretion of the court. But if you were to be released, we'd ask that you place an GPS tether, Your Honor.
And you understand, the PPO is still in place.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Morales expresses no intent to even think about this, Your Honor. Let alone try to reach out to her. He just-
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. After the first case comes up, didn't he have that same feeling?
They were both around, I believe, like a week apart.
Yeah, but wasn't he contacted in between that week by somebody saying you shouldn't do this?
And I think
Well, was he?
he was.
And then what happened with the second one? That's what my question.
Then they proceeded to reach out to me.
And he didn't,
I didn't know that was,
So somebody told you, you had a PPO that told you you shouldn't contact this person. You were in contact with this person. When you were in contact with this person the first time, somebody told you you shouldn't be in contact with this person, and then they contacted you and you continued to contact them back because what?
I acknowledge that wholeheartedly, Your Honor. That was my mistake because it wasn't on them for me to be held responsible for what was in place for me. I do acknowledge that wholeheartedly that, may have crossed that line, and I don't plan on doing that again. I just want to put this.
How do Okay, but you violated the PPO, which is the first set of incidents not to contact this person. And then there was subsequent contact. So if I let you out now with that same admonition, how do I know that you're going to even follow the court's order?
I understand where this is going, Your Honor. I do.
No, you don't, but go ahead.
I don't, not all the way. That's my first time in, you know what I mean? I do wholeheartedly acknowledge that, though, that I wasn't making the right and difficult decision. And,
and Your Honor, I have spoken with Mr. Morales in jail a few times over this past week, reminding him that if anything were to happen, he does not to ever contact her. And he has expressed true remorse for his actions, and they were a mistake. And I do believe Mr. is PPO and what that means. And
You didn't understand it before?
he did. what he
I'm just
did.
trying to gain a full understanding of what's going on in his head. Because you're gonna tell me this, somebody told him once, then told him again, and we have the same behavior, and I'm trying to figure out if I let him out, how do I have any?
Mr. Morales had time to sit in jail the past few weeks and really reflect on the fact that his kids are more important than trying to be in contact with the police witness and being a son to his mom and a father to his two children who are 3 months and 2 years old.
There's an original order, which is an exclusion zone for the tether. But I don't know if that exclusion zone still applies. Yes.
Heritage Glen versus Eric Boatwright. Boatwright?
Yeah, I'm
Eric
here.
Boat- All right, Mr. Boatwright, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Mr. Boatwright, did you file an application for rental assistance?
I did.
Already, and would you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yeah,
And Mr. Boatwright, I have Form DC 539 right here. Would you like to give me permission and consent to sign your name to that so that I can place it in your court file?
yeah,
All righty. Sir, you stated that you filed an application for rental assistance. With which agency did you file that?
the MDHS, I guess that's what it's called on
Sure, Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, okay. And that it's still pending right now, right?
yeah, I haven't heard nothing.
Wait, okay, you're waiting to hear back from them, okay. So that's gonna automatically activate the stay, that timeout, that freeze. So we're gonna come back on the 17th. And that's gonna be at 8:42 on Zoom, same as we're doing this morning by Zoom. But the 8:42 tells me that I need to, when you come back, check and see where that application's at, if it's been approved or denied, or if it's still pending, and then we'll go from there, okay?
Okay, great.
All right. In the meantime, stay safe and you have a blessed day, sir.
Okay, I got a question. Now,
Sure.
though I file for assistance or whatever or whatnot, if I come across the money to just pay it, you know,
Okay. We've had a, quite frankly, rather extensive bench conference. My understanding is that the defendant has a DV before Judge Barr, which he's set to appear on today. That in that DV, his bond is denied. But the reason his bond is denied on that case is because of the aggravated stalking, which was the one charge in this case. Did I have that right? Right. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do and what I indicated counsel I'll do. I will hold the files. I will at this time, I will deny your request for any change in bond. If after that hearing before Judge Barr, since he won't be before Judge Barr in these cases till the 17th, if Judge Barr releases him on the other case, then I will reconsider my decision on this case and may release him. Okay,
Thank you, Your Honor.
thank you.
Thank you.
So at this time, his bond is continued. I'm gonna, what time is his hearing before Judge Barr?
It's at 11 a.m. Your Honor.
13 minutes.
Can we hold these? Why? Court calls the case People versus Brandon Carter.
Mr. Carter, your Honor, asking if you would, call this matter at a later time. My client, he's en route. He doesn't-
Really?
He is not coming. This is
From where?
think he's coming in from Detroit. When he called me, he had.
Ipsy. He's coming from Ipsy, isn't
Your
he?
Honor, only thing I tell you, he was at the airport, his probation officer drove him to the airport, got on the bus, he missed whatever that bus, the first bus was, so he's getting on the second bus and he is riding in. He's called me with his ETA or where he's at, like multiple times today, trying to get here.
Didn't we do this last week?
Well,
With
Your
you.
Honor, last week, however, he was surprised by the request. This week he is getting here, he's just running behind, Your Honor. He'll be here, I promise. Well,
Okay, so if he's not, then I get to take you.
we,
You just, you weren't gonna guarantee it to that extent, were you?
he will be here, Your Honor.
I know you promised.
I promise.
Yeah. Alan, what happens when I'm disappointed on my promises? Yeah.
So yes, Your Honor.
I'll pass it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
She's now going to pray he shows up. Court calls the case, People versus Chancel Bray Page.
Great to meet the people.
Your name, sir?
Ready, Your Honor.
All right, go ahead, counsel.
And greetings, Your Honor. Emmett Greenwood on behalf of defendant P56556.
All right. What are we doing on this case today?
Your Honor, I'm respectfully asking that the PCC be closed and this matter be set for exam. If we could have April 15th, that would be perfect.
You know, when people ask me for dates, I sometimes just don't give them that date. But I will. Do people have their witnesses available on the 15th?
We will try our best. I'll leave it at that.
Preliminary examination in person will be set April 15th, 2025, 9 a.m. before Judge Moore. Bond will continue.
Judge Moore,
Thank you.
thank you, Ms. Ann.
Court calls case, People versus Andrew Castillo.
Still, moving to my right, standing director.
Thank you.
We're gonna adjourn this in order for Mr. Castillo to pay restitution. He has paid that. I've been provided to receive. I have prepared a knowledge process.
Any objection to that? So you say anything? Okay, all right, I'm just checking. Case is dismissed. I'll sign that now when I get it. All right, thank you, sir. Mackey's like, yeah. Court calls case, People versus Sean Newcomb.
Assistant Public Defender, Admiral. Please say your name for the record.
Thank you.
Got we're asking for an adjournment, we need some additional time to simply negotiation.
Why do I have two in here? Oh, I know why.
Mr. Feaster, I didn't realize.
Mr. Feaster started just doing stuff. All right. Probable cause conference, April 17, 2025. 9 a.m. Bond continued.
Thank you.
Thank you. Court calls case of the People versus Antoine Coleman.
People.
We're asking for an adjournment, Judge.
Probable cause conference, April 17th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond continued.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Cole. Court calls case People versus Michael. Is it Robert.
And then nothing happened, Your Honor.
Right, morning, Governor Mr. Robinson. Michael Robertson. Judge, I'm just asking for. Michael Robertson.
Probable cause conference will be adjourned April 17th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond continued.
Thank you.
Court calls case of the People versus Shauna Colston.
That's a lot of people.
Here, Nathan, on behalf of Scott Colston. I have not had an opportunity, I've not been able to reach Ms. Colston to.
She's here.
Oh, yes, before today, we've been unsuccessful in being able to discuss the case, so I've submitted a read sheet, just to have a brief adjournment, just to be counsel.
Your name, ma'am?
Shauna Colston.
Probable cause conference without objection. I'll adjourn to April 17th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond continued. Court calls case People versus Derek Graham.
And is there nothing happened, Your Honor?
All right. And what are we doing?
Sitting for exam, Your Honor. I
Uh,
have no objection if you said at the same time.
And all discovery is complete.
As far as I know, yes, Your Honor.
Would the people have their witnesses available on the 15th?
Do our best, Your Honor.
Preliminary examination in person, April 15th, 2025, 9 a.m. That's before me in both matters. Bond will continue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're on the same. Yes. They don't have one. Okay, I'll call them up in a moment.
Okay, okay. Tell me.
I lost. They have, do they have
There's
anybody?
nobody right there. Because we're down to just this one. We're down
Oh,
to just this one.
yes, that one.
Yeah, but I didn't call.
Court calls the case People versus Brendan Chrysler.
Pass the line to people.
James Fidelsky on behalf of Mr. Chrysler. Your Honor.
Your name, sir?
Brendan Chrysler. I have on my client's computer, it says medical portal from Beaumont, prescriptions for Xanax and Suboxone. I've also got a bottle here that says alprazolam, which should be the one that's showing up as the benzodiazepine. So these are two substances my client is prescribed, taking as prescribed. So I've asked the court to.
Have you shown the people that?
I just saw the bottle and I believe that that's what it says in this portal. Mr. Fidelsky was on the top. Yeah, I see it.
Okay.
And I'm familiar with both of those drugs, and I understand that they're prescribed substances, can be prescribed substances. Can also be illicit, but in this case, it looks like they are from.
And he has been in treatment, and Your Honor, I actually did have a.
How much in adjournment did you want?
3 weeks.
Probable cause conference, April 24th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond continued.
And just so my client is clear, he has to continue a community correction, so I have him go back over there to set up the plan. Okay. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, your TV show.
Thank you for that, I guess. Wow. Well, no, what? Thank you. Oh, well, thanks. Appreciate it. You guys all knew I'm better looking in person. Wow. Court calls the case of People versus Elijah Craft.
And then on behalf of the Assistant Public Defender, Dr. Gary Ackroyd, Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. Elijah Craft. Mr. Craft, state your name, please.
Thank you.
Just, we're requesting the term.
April 24th, 2025, 9 a.m.
2, 3.
Can you what? That is 3 weeks.
That is 3 weeks.
That is 3 weeks.
You can't count or?
You know, Judge,
I know. What? That was uncalled for? She can't count. I gave her 3 weeks and now she's young. Are you guys enjoying your conversation? Am I done?
neither my client or myself, we can have. I was doing solo today.
No, you weren't, but you were than before. May 1st,
Thank you so much, Judge.
9 a.m. Bond continued. Thank you. Court does call the case of the People versus Nolan Crawford.
And I can Mr. Crawford. with opening. You say the record.
Thank you.
Matter we request for an adjournment.
Yes.
Matter we're still waiting.
April 17th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond will continue. Thank you. Court calls the case of the People versus Harold Dennis.
Joseph and other people.
Yes.
Leader said that we are attempting to mitigate the circumstances. We're trying it and shortly that between Friday and Monday, what is being requested will be taken care of. Upon that, we'll get a good offer from prosecutors in this matter. So we're going to ask for a 2-week adjournment, but hopefully by Monday, this will be resolved in positive fashion.
Without objection, April 17th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond continued.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Court calls the case People versus Durantu Francis.
On behalf of my client who is on center.
All right.
Durantu Francis.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
I don't know why it stopped. All right.
Since we are.
It's a much better conversation than I normally. Go ahead.
In
Yeah.
regards to the problem about conflict, we are asking for an attorney, as we are doing those things last time we were here.
The submitted informational report in regards to the test that Ms. Francis had completed. Essentially, is going to. Alternative.
Yes.
Everybody, rock your body. Everybody.
All right, what are we doing with the case itself? But as to the violation, I'm not gonna find a violation with the information that I have. I will indicate that the defendant may be placed back on a sober link. We'll fill out a new order, short report over to community corrections within the next 24 hours.
Thank you, Your Honor, and we just requested an adjournment, Judge.
That's my understanding as well.
All right, and then I'll adjourn the hearing, the probable cause hearing to the 24th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That's the 20. You're welcome.
I can leave now?
Sure, bye.
Okay.
We'll continue, and I want to just, no violation. We're all set. All right, court, let's call the cases of the people versus Tamika Slip. Thank you.
You're still smiling, I see.
Yes, ma'am, I am.
And I like your pretty shirt.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
All right, thank you. Please.
Thank you. I'm not done that I can marry you. I just got the.
Assistant Public Defender Hannah Apple appearing on behalf of Ms. Schlipp. Ms. Schlipp, will you please
Hi,
state your name
Miss
for the record?
Apple.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad. Can you state your name for the record?
Tamika Joy Ship.
Your Honor, may we approach?
Please.
What the fuck? I'm back.
So-
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm
All
sorry,
right.
Mrs. Simpson.
No, you're okay. All right,
I
so,
just get really hyper because I have autism and get really hyper when you see people I know.
okay. All
It
right,
makes
so
me
here's
feel
what
good.
I do. Go Nancy.
Yeah, I said that. And
Well, I
I told you over and over again, so you have a very beautiful smile.
You did. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Miss,
Yeah,
there's an there's an case that you're gonna plead no contest to a disorderly person. That will be in the case ending in 727. Upon your successful no contest plea to that charge, count one in that case would be dismissed, and all of the other 4 cases would be dismissed.
I don't understand what you mean.
What? Do you recall meeting with Ms. Cannon earlier this week?
Oh, you're in doubt. Provide-
God.
I've been provided and have reviewed Michigan Department of State Police report for their case number 6224. Any objection to the court having reviewed that report?
No objection, Your Honor.
No objection.
All right. Based upon a review of that report, the court does find that there's a sufficient factual basis in which the court could determine the defendant's guilt of this offense. Counsel, have I complied with the court rule? Would it be proper to accept this defendant's plea?
Your Honor, defense is satisfied.
People are satisfied.
Court will accept the defendant's plea of no contest to count 2 in case ending in 727. Count 1 in that case is dismissed, as well as the cases ending in 1449, 1706, 1823, and 654. Those are dismissed as part of this agreement. All right. Okay. Anything you want to say before those sentence?
Me?
Your Honor,
Sure. Well, yeah, yes, I have to give you that right. You have, but go ahead.
I just want to
Please.
say, I hope you guys so
Heck.
God bless us.
Okay, Ms. Slip, hold on a moment. I'm gonna let your attorney talk to me first, okay?
Okay.
All right, please.
Your Honor, we're asking the court to consider a credit for time served sentence on this, waive any fines and costs the court can, considering Ms. Schlipp's status in the Michigan Department of Corrections. Your Honor, she has been in custody for roughly the last 7 years on an 18-month sentence out of Jackson County. So we're asking, based on those circumstances, the court impose a time served sentence. Once this files out. Thank you.
Ms. Slip?
Yes?
Anything you want to tell me before I impose sentence?
I just want to say God bless you, Mr. Simpson. And I want to also tell you, Mr. Simpson, I prayed for you.
Slip, thank you for that. I do
You're
appreciate it.
very welcome. I prayed for you because I know your job can't be all that. Like, it probably feel frustrating. So I ask God to give you strength and wisdom to keep going.
Ms. Slip, it's a sentence of the court. Fines and cost of $125, sentenced to 90 days incarceration, credit for 90 days served. And Ms. Slip, you would appear here every couple of weeks. This is it, or the end of it. So I'll just let you know I'm gonna miss you.
I'm gonna miss you too, Mr. Simpson. I'm definitely gonna miss your beautiful smile.
Oh, yes, thank you, Ms. Slip. You take care of yourself, okay?
Okay, I will, Mr.
Yes,
Simpson. Just
Hold
God
on, Ms.
bless
Slip,
you.
there's. Okay.
I want to put on the record, just, that as recently as February 27th, this court sent an order finding the competent,
Yes,
and there's no reason that we believe that status has changed, and yet.
all right, very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, take care, Ms. Slip.
Take care, Mr. Simpson. Bye. Have a good day.
Bye-bye. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. What's the Buckner? Council on Buckner approach? He's in, he just logged out. Yeah, go ahead. So I don't know what's shown on that. I'm guessing. Court does call the case, People versus Brandon Jeevers.
And then we have. Defenders House for Jails with on behalf of Brandon Beavers. Mr. Beavers, please state your name.
All right, thank you. All right, what are we doing?
In this case, we are asking to set a preliminary examination, but are asked to approach.
Okay. Come on. Okay, there is a issue that council's gonna take care of by written order regarding issue occurring, I think, this Sunday or whatever. So that I'll expect a written order on that. And then with reference to the preliminary examination, your discovery is complete. We also discussed the potential availability of witnesses. So I will set a preliminary examination in person for April 29th before me. 2025, 9 a.m. That's before me. Bond in this matter will continue. All right, thank you. Court calls the case of the People versus Taiwan Griggs.
Question one of the people. Yeah, Mr. Griggs, who should be appearing by Zoom? Mr. Griggs, could you please state your name for the record?
Mr. Griggs, can you unmute and state your name, please?
Taiwan Griggs.
Thank you.
Your Honor, you should have received a briefing sheet. This matter, my client is currently working on a game regarding mitigating the circumstance and situation that happened allegedly in this case. I would just ask for that time.
Sorry, I mean, how much more time do they need?
You're with him living in, he is now in sober living, kind of, what's the word I want to use here? Lost contact a bit, because when he moved from one It's my understanding that Aaron Miller, with our A division, should have had contact with him yesterday. I was there with you.
May 1st, 2025. I know, I picked it. Bond continued. Thank you. Court calls case People versus Lena, is it Hallaby? Carbally.
If you originally been on the people.
This is the public defender, Nina Apple, carrying on behalf of Ms. Cavalli. She just stepped up to me.
Oh, I'll pass it.
Pass, thank you.
Court calls case People versus
Brian Bowling on behalf of Mr. Collins.
Good morning, sir.
Here in this case, the defendant lives in Oakland County, and there are several people that go to the Oakland County Drug Treatment Court.
Yeah, I know.
They apparently they won't even screen somebody until after they leave, which is very unusual for me. So, Mr. Bowling, let me know that. I want to talk to him a little bit about like whether or not they think Mr. How we admitted, before we offer any plea, because it's sort of backwards.
Yeah,
So I'd like a little bit more time so I can contact them directly.
all right.
And just for the record, Your Honor, I did have a discussion with one of the names Crenshaw up there who administers those programs. All with what Ms. Lundy just stated was stated to me when I spoke to her on Tuesday. I did provide Ms. Lundy with her contact details for the Ms. Crenshaw in Oakland County. So hopefully we can get this solved next time.
Zero doubt about what Mr. Bowling is telling me. I just want to have a conversation with him.
No, I get, no, I understand that. I mean, we've been, you just don't understand when somebody wants to do that.
Yes, Your Honor.
What were you gonna say, sir?
I mean, Your Honor, the next step would for me to become a Washington County resident, drug court down here. That's all, so.
Oh, it's a better place to live. I'm a little bit biased, so, but, all right. Okay, April 24th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond will continue. All right, thank you, Mr. Hall. Court does call the case of the People versus Amal Kashan.
Austin Bashir, here with on behalf of Amal Shah, here by Zoom.
Hello.
Hello. I need a camera.
1 second. How do I do this? It's not allowing me to turn my camera on. Oh, here it is. Never mind.
Yep, there you go. All right. And you're requesting an adjournment?
Yeah, we'll be fine with her.
Pardon? Let's hope. Probable cause conference will be adjourned April 17th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond continued. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Sherman.
Yep. Right.
Court calls case of the People versus Anderson Keller.
Master Money people. This was Mr. Brown's case, but I understand the defendant's refusing to maybe.
Assistant Public Defender, not on behalf of Mr. Anderson Keller.
And he's down in our jail, but refusing.
That is correct, sir. We do have an updated report of finding him competent and what was the procedure generally.
Absolutely. So, all right, well, we'll see if we can get his mind changed. I'll adjourn it out to April 24th, 2025. 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Bond continue. Thank you. Court recalls the case, People versus Lena Carbone.
Assistant Public Defender Hannah Apple, here on behalf of Mr. Hall. Would you know, we seek new record, Hannah Harbon. In your honor, we did make a referral to specialty court. The referral should be in the file. We asked for an adjournment.
I signed off on that. How long are they taking for this screening? Yeah.
Oh, I would expect maybe 3 weeks or so, at least for the initial screening. Oh,
When I do April 24th, 2025. 9 a.m. Continue. All right.
thank you.
Thank you. Then. Where'd she go? Did her client show up? I have 2 recalls, right? Clarence Broach, that was one that we, court recalls case People versus Clarence Broach.
Good morning, again, Your Honor, Lori Hackney, Assistant Public Defender, with and on behalf of Mr. Broach. Mr. Broach, can you try to state your name for the court?
Clarence Broach. Okay, now we got you. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you for your patience. My understanding, I believe, and I'm sorry, I'll let.
Josephine Elman.
All right. Okay, what are we doing?
I don't believe there's an offer for resolution at this time. Okay, I just want to verify. So I do believe discovery is complete in this matter, so we would request.
People have their witnesses available the 15th. Preliminary examination in person, April 15th, 2025. 9 a.m. before Judge Moore. Bond will continue.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. It's just harder with Ms. Cannon's pass. Okay, I have one file left. And what do you think?
On the bus. He just went back and just drove past St. Joe. Bus-
Where?
St. Joseph.
Hospital.
Really?
Well,
No, never mind. I don't even know why you had no cases today. Why were you talking? All right. So,
Yes, Ron.
so he's driving past St. Joe's.
Yes, on the bus. Yes, the bus just drove past St. Joe's prior to you, looking at the lecture.
Not really.
Prior.
Okay, so here's what I'll do.
Yes.
You'll get here, presumably. I will continue passing the matter at the end of this block, so I will call it up in the next block.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you.
Don't ever say I haven't done anything nice for you.
Never said that once.
Yes, you did. Yeah, no, I remember it. Yeah, I remember the name. All right. Court is standing recess.
All rise. Seated.
go within 200 yards of your grandfather. And that condition is between the court. Your grandfather has no say on that. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
If for whatever reason you want that condition removed or your grandfather wants to see you again, you need to come to court with your attorney, ask for a modification hearing. Your attorney will ask for a modification hearing. Then we'll have a hearing and we'll decide whether or not that's the best thing to do. But for the time being, do not go back over there. So you're getting out today. You just must follow those conditions, sir. Ms. Lopez is going to ask you some questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Sir, do you have an email address?
Yes.
Okay.
Mannyworks@13 gmail.
And do you have a phone number for a friend or relative?
No.
That's okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Judge.
All right, sir, you will be released today. You're going to get a piece of paper that's going to have a phone number and a date and a time for you to call. Make sure you do it, because if you don't, that's a violation. Understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Right.
Aldana, please.
Wow. What's your name, sir?
Ricardo Aldana.
All right, so you're here because apparently you're on probation at a Judge Anchondo's court on a charge of driving while intoxicated. This morning, your bond's been set. It's a split bond of $7,000 cash surety, 500 PR bond. Your permanent attorney is a public defender's office. This morning, Ms. Quevedo from that office is going to represent you. She'll present evidence you have to try and convince me to lower your bond. Then I'm going to hear from the prosecutor, and then I'll make my decision as to what happens to your bond. All right, Ms. Quevedo, go ahead.
Thank you, Judge. Your Honor, Ms. Strike, Aldana lives at 11725 Kennedy Paul. He lives with his daughters and the mother of his daughters. He goes to he went to East Lake High School, where he completed up to the 10th grade. In addition to his children and the mother of his children, he has his siblings and his own mother. He does not have any money that he can post. He can be reached at 915-305-8062. He is respectfully requesting a PR bond or any relief the court might find fitting. Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Calhoun, what can you tell me?
Okay, so I'm seeing here dismissed cases. Honestly, there's a ton of dismissed, and the only guilty conviction I see or that was deferred is DWI. Yeah.
All right, so basically the basis for the revocation are as follows. 1, he failed to do tap. 2, he failed to install the interlock in his car. 3, he failed to report. And then apparently he failed to appear for a probation review hearing. So Judge Anchondo's not very happy with him right now. It's going to be a split, but it's going to be 3,500 cash or surety, 4,000 PR bond with the same exact conditions you had before, sir, okay? On any car that you're driving, you must install a camera, ignition, interlock. No. I'll finish first, and you can ask your questions. You can install a camera, ignition, interlock device, in which you're going to be blowing every time you're driving to make sure you're not drinking. For whatever reason, you are not driving any cars, you must obtain a portable unit, which you're going to be testing several times a day. You're not allowed to possess or consume illegal drugs or alcohol. You're going to be subject to random urine analysis and breath analysis when you report. And you also must report to your PR bond officer as instructed. You're going to be reporting to both a PR bond officer and a probation officer. Make sure you understand that, okay? Also, you cannot be rearrested for any new offenses. Now, what is your question?
No, it's because the thing is that I did have my portable device.
Again, you're going to have to take it up with Judge Anchondo, okay?
Okay, yeah.
All I can tell you is he's not happy with you. That's all I'm going to tell you right now. If you want to pick it up post this bond, you want to put PR bond, he's the only one who's going to give it to you. Okay, right now, Ms. Lopez is going to ask you some questions. I still have to get a hold of you.
Thank you, Judge. Sir, do you have a phone number for a friend or relative?
Oh, shit. It's 915-292-1593.
And who does that number belong to?
My mom, Maribel Aldana.
And do you have an email address?
Yes, it's aldana-ricardo460@gmail.com.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Next.
James.
What's your last name, sir?
James.
So this is Mr. James. He's here on a charge of manufacture or delivery of controlled substance, penalty group 1, in the amount greater than 4 grams, less than 200 grams. His permanent attorney is the his bond is $25,000. I'm sorry, his permanent attorney is the public defender's office. This morning, Ms. Quevedo from that office will present evidence on your behalf, try and convince me to lower your bonds. Then I'm going to hear from the prosecutor, Ms. Calhoun, and I'll make my decision as to what happens to your bond. Go ahead, Ms. Quevedo.
Thank you, Judge. Your Honor, Mr. James indicated that he lives at 8734 Roberts, apartment 55, with a friend. He's lived his entire life here in El Paso. He attended and graduated from school. He has friends here in El Paso. He indicated he's working at IHOP, he has an interview at IHOP coming up. He has phone number 915-990-4592. He is asking for a PR bond or any relief the court might find fitting. Thank you, Judge.
All right. Ms. Calhoun, prior criminal history?
Yes, Judge, I'm seeing credit card abuse, multiple of those, and prohibited weapons, switchblades, marijuana, criminal trespass, more marijuana, evading, burglary of a vehicle, and assault, family violence, impede breath, that there's a conviction. It was a deferred, but convicted for it now. Evading with previous aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, evading motor vehicle, assault, family violence, previous conviction, theft of property, that was a felony, evading motor vehicle, and aggravated assault, public servant, conviction, and pending cases.
I show he's out on PR bond right now on indicted case, possession of contraceptives, PG2 under a gram, and then another Mandel 4200. Anyway, he's on indicted at least on another drug charge. Ms. Lopez, what can you tell me?
Yes, Judge, he was placed on February 6th of 2025 under standard supervision, and he reported as instructed.
Ms. Calhoun, what's the date of offense on this new charge? Yeah, but you also have a condition of committing a new offense on PR bond. What's the date of offense on this? The case one for today. Does it predate or is before or after?
February 4th.
Or you got the PR bond on the 6th. What's the allegation?
The Mandel?
Yeah.
Okay.
The one that we hear because I didn't have the affidavit, the one for today.
Okay, yes. That is where there was defendant matched the description of a suspect that was called on, and he just basically, after officers talked to him, he just said that he does drugs, and so he was searched, and there was 9.8 methamphetamine.
In some bags, all right. But it was so you occurred prior to that. Getting his PR on the last ones. All right. What level of supervision was he before, Mr. Lopez?
It was standard, Judge.
All right, so this is going to be an intensive level supervision PR bond. That means you're going to be reporting a lot more often, sir. Okay. And the only reason why you're getting is because this occurred before. This date of offense is before you got your PR bond. It would have been after you got your PR bond. Good luck, man. If you ever come in front of me from something like that, okay? You must report your PR bond officer as instructed. Looks like at least you've been doing that. Keep doing it like they tell you to do it, sir. Okay. 2, you cannot be rearrested for any new offenses. You're not allowed to possess or consume illegal drugs or alcohol. You're going to be subject to random urine analysis and breath analysis. Understood? Ms. Lopez, go ahead.
Thank you, Judge. Sir, do you have an email address?
Brenda James #1@msm.com.
Okay, thank you. And do you have a phone number for a friend or relative?
915-491-0469.
And who does that number belong to?
That belongs to my foster mother, which I keep in contact. She knows where I'm at most of the time.
And what's her full name?
Her name's Brenda E. James.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, Judge.
All right, sir, you will be released later on today. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Cisneros.
Okay, so Mr. Cisneros is here on 3 charges. He's here on a charge of manufacture or delivery of controlled substance, penalty group 1, in the amount greater than 4 grams, less than 200 grams. He's got 2 of those, one's at 30,000, one's at 20,000, and then he's got a charge of a felon in possession of a firearm at $10,000. His permanent attorney is a public defender's office. This morning, Ms. Quevedo from that office will represent you. She'll present evidence. You'll be happy to try and convince me to lower your bond. Then I'm going to hear from the prosecutor, Ms. Calhoun, then I'll make my decision. Ms. Calhoun, on this one, I'll need a summary, because did not have access to the affidavit. Go ahead, Ms. Quevedo.
Thank you, Judge. Your Honor, Mr. Cisneros indicated that he lives with his father-in-law at 3223 East Banderas Way. He's lived in El Paso for about 5 months. He indicated he has his girlfriend here in El Paso. He works at a recycling center and also as a barber. He has phone number 423-313-1160 where he can be reached. He has $400 that he can post. So he is asking for bond reductions or split bonds, whatever relief, if any, the court should find fitting. Thank you, Judge.
Give me just a second. I need to check on, I have something come up here. Give me just a second, please.
Downtown.
Okay, let's continue. I was just having a brief conversation with Judge Duke. There was an issue over there in the courtroom that we needed to address. All right, so go ahead, Ms. Quevedo. Actually, you already presented your evidence. I got your evidence. Ms. Calhoun, prior criminal history? Stop, Ms. Quevedo, still, there you go. Prior criminal history?
Okay,
There, Ms. Calhoun, there's a certain charge from Montgomery County that I don't want you to mention, okay?
absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so UUMV, burglary of a habitation, Mandel, that was pled to a felony possession, unlawful possession of firearm, evading motor vehicle. And then, yeah, unnamed possession, controlled substance.
Yeah. And then at least one similar prior for felony possession of here in 2013. That's just out of Porter County, I think. Then she's got okay. Let's go briefly over the facts, please.
Okay, so this is where officers were surveillancing the area for narcotics trafficking and observed just suspicious behavior by the defendant and co-defendant. A traffic stop was conducted after they were surveillancing the defendant. Defendant was the driver. Officers observed a burnt straw sticking out from co-defendant's purse, and there was a firearm, and defendant is a convicted felon.
What substances and amounts?
Okay, so the 12.4 grams fentanyl and 29.6 methamphetamine. And just to be clear, oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, sorry, I was confusing something else.
All right. The ones at 30 is going to go to 15. The ones at 20 is going to go to 7,500. The ones at 10, the felony possession, that's going to be denied. Reason for denial, prior criminal history. Thank you, sir. If you can oppose these bonds, your attorneys are going to explain to you what happens next in your case, sir. Thank you.
Sorry, Judge, the PG1 went down to what?
I'm sorry?
The first one, the one that was.
By the way, the Mandels at 30 goes to 15.
Okay.
The ones at 20 goes to 7,500. and the felony possession stays at 10,000.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, sir. Next.
Good morning, Your Honor.
What's your name, sir?
Percy Navarrete.
Mr. Navarrete is here on 3 charges, actually. He's got a misdemeanor charge of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration greater than 0.15, possession of controlled substance, penalty group 2, less than a gram, possession of controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than a gram. Those have been also at 1,000 each. His permanent attorney is Samantha Rago, but for purposes of this hearing, you are going to be represented by Ms. Quevedo from the Public Defender's Office. She'll present evidence you'll be happy to try and convince me to give you a lower bond, maybe a PR bond, I do not know, depends what kind of evidence I hear from her, what kind of evidence I hear from the prosecutor, Ms. Calhoun, and I'll make my decision. All right, Ms. Quevedo, go ahead.
Thank you, Judge. Your Honor, Mr. Navarrete lives at 8582 Lee Starling with his girlfriend. He's lived in El Paso his entire life. He went to Bel Air where he completed up to the 11th grade. He has his brother as well as his girlfriend here in El Paso. He works in construction. He has about $200 that he can post, and he can be reached at 915-540-5420. So he is respectfully requesting bond reductions or full PR bonds, whatever relief, if any, the court should find fitting. Thank you, Judge.
All right, Ms. Calhoun, prior criminal history.
I am seeing that there's conviction for marijuana from like 89.
Actually,
but
he's got a one PG1, PG2 less than 28 grams back in 91 or so, in 92 PG, 2 of those, and then he's got a 2019 misdemeanor terroristic threat, ancient POMs and UCWs, and then he's got this case. It's all right.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry, Judge. Is this Navarrete?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I get the gist of his priors. Basically, he stopped in the middle lane of traffic. That, needless to say, gets the officer's attention. They make contact with him, shows us some intoxication. They gave him his field sobriety test, blew a 0.177. He also had THC and a little bit of coke on him. So, okay, that's kind of the long and the short of what we got here. All right, so these are going to be PR bonds, all 3 of them. When the DWI is going to be, no, I'm just going to do it. No interlock, just plain old DWI standard conditions. And the other ones are going to be standard level supervisions on the drug charges with the following conditions. So you listen very carefully, sir.
Yes, sir.
Conditions of bond, okay? Actually, we need to double check. No, actually, it's going to be enhanced, not standard level supervision, okay? These are the conditions of bond. You must report to your PR bond officer as instructed, sir. On the day you're supposed to report, you report. Now, when you feel like reporting, sir. 2, you cannot be rearrested for any new offenses while this case is pending, okay? 3, you're not allowed to possess or consume illegal drugs or alcohol. And when you report to PR bond officer, they may very well be testing you. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, right now, Ms. Lopez is going to ask you some questions.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Judge. Sir, do you have a phone number for a friend or relative?
The one I gave you is 915-540-5420. That's my girlfriend's. Right now, I have a phone too, but I don't remember because they barely got it for me. So I don't know the number.
That's okay. And what's your girlfriend's full name?
Teresa Craig Lugo. Yeah, she's married, so it's Teresa Craig. I guess her last name from her husband is Craig, and her last name is Lugo. So I don't know what her.
Okay. And do you have an email address?
Yes, I have a Percy Navarrete 69 at gmail.com.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Judge.
All right, sir. Thank you. You will be released later on today, okay? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. God bless you, sir.
All right, thank you.
My partner's already on the 5th floor,
All
sir.
right, yeah. Thanks.
Okay, Judge, first one's gonna be Armendariz Roberto.
Okay, I don't want to know what's going on there between his girlfriend is married. Okay, I don't want to know what's going on there. What's your name, sir?
Robert Armendariz, sir.
I'm sorry, last name?
Robert Gamboa Armendariz.
Gamboa.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What page is he in, guys? I cannot find him.
Armendariz, Judge.
And that is on his,
second page.
oh, sorry. No, you're right. Sorry, I'm looking at it. Okay, so Mr. Gamboa is here on a charge of criminal trespass out of County Court Law number 4. Let me just check my notes in here and. Oh, yeah, I remember this. So he's on appeal on a charge of criminal trespass and a $5,000 bond. Basically, his PR bond got revoked because he got rearrested for a misdemeanor charge of possession of marijuana. This morning, sir, you set for a bond reduction hearing. You're gonna be, permanent attorney is a public defender's office. This morning, Ms. Quevedo from that office will represent you. She'll present evidence on behalf to try and convince me to reinstate your PR bond. Then I'm gonna hear from the prosecutor, Ms. Calhoun, then I'll make my decision. Go ahead, Ms. Quevedo.
Thank you, Judge. Your Honor, may I proceed by question and answer?
Yes.
Mr. Armendariz, if you're released from jail, where would you live?
I'll be going to 133 South Old Pebble Road, ma'am.
Who do you live with at that address?
I'm living with one of my friends there,
Okay, and how long have you lived in El Paso?
all my life, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the highest grade of school that you finished?
12th grade, ma'am.
At what school?
Del Valle High School, ma'am.
Okay. And are you working currently?
I'm looking for a job as we speak now, ma'am.
Okay, do you have?
Most likely I'll be working construction pretty soon.
Okay, do you have a phone number where you can be reached if you are?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry to interrupt. 915-284-0644.
Okay, and do you have any money that you can pay to bond out?
Not right now, ma'am. Not at the post, no, not at the time.
Okay.
That's why I'm going to see if you could reinstate my PR bond, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Armendariz. Your Honor, based on the information provided, we're respectfully requesting a PR bond or any relief the court might find fitting. Thank you, Judge.
All right. Ms. Calhoun, where did the criminal trespass occur at?
It occurred at Zaragoza Village Shopping Complex located at 615 North Zaragoza.
All right.
It was let me.
No. We'll talk
It was
about
a canal that I was.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm gonna grant another PR bond in this case. Pretty much, he got rearrested for possession of marijuana. He got a PR bond on that case. So I'm just gonna give another PR bond on this one. It's gonna be enhanced level supervision with the following conditions. 1, you gotta report to PR bond officer as instructed. That means you report on the day you're supposed to report, sir, not when you feel like reporting. Understand?
Sir.
You cannot be rearrested for any new offenses.
Sir.
3, you're not allowed to possess or consume illegal drugs or alcohol. They may be testing you to make sure you're not using.
Sir.
Okay, and you cannot go back to that shopping center, okay?
Sir.
Those are your conditions of bond. You follow them good with the court, you violate them. Probably Judge Gonzalez will revoke your bond again. All right, Ms. Lopez, go ahead.
Thank you, Judge. Sir, do you have an email address?
That's robertarman@gmail.com, ma'am.
And do you have a phone number for a friend or relative?
Okay, I'm gonna give you my daughter's phone number, 915-284-0644. Her name's Anika Monique Armendariz.
And do you have a personal phone number?
No, ma'am, not at the time.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Next.
Thank you. Just wait on you. Next is gonna be Mr. Gallegos Luis.
Thank you. Mr. Gallegos is here on 2 charges. He's got 2, possession of controlled substance, penalty group 1, in the amount greater than 4 grams, less than 200 grams, and possession of controlled substance, penalty group 1, the amount greater than 1 gram, less than 4 grams. For the first case, there's a split bond, 14,000 cash or surety, 1,000 PR bond. Second one is 9,000 cash or surety, 1,000 PR bond. The primary attorney serves a public defender's office. This morning, Ms. Quevedo from that office will represent you and try to convince me to lower your bonds. Then I'm going to hear from the prosecutor, then I'll make my decision as to what happens to your bond. Go ahead, Ms. Quevedo.
Thank you, Judge. Your Honor, Mr. Gallegos indicated that he lives with his aunt at 4645 Vulcan. He's lived in El Paso his entire life. He attended Andres High School, where he completed up to the 10th grade. He has the majority of his family here in El Paso. Mr. Gallegos indicated that he receives Social Security income, and the main nature of his disabilities is mental health. He receives mental health treatment at EHN. He has phone number 4634, where he can be reached. He has about $400 that he can pay. And he also is respectfully requesting an OSAR screening, Judge. Thank you.
Give me just a second here, because I need to check something real quick. Okay, I think he's currently on probation. Ms. Calhoun, cover his powers, please.
Absolutely. So I'm seeing here evading and then evading motor vehicle, theft of property, that was a misdemeanor, felony possession cases, resist, unlawful carrying of a weapon with felony conviction, and then pending case.
I think he's currently on probation out of Judge Navarrete's court on another possession. It's a 2023 case. They just amended his probation last November, I think. Basically, this is he's walking in the middle of the roadway, so they stop him, and I don't remember if they found paraphernalia or something like that. End up searching and find 11 grams of meth and 1.5 grams of fentanyl. All right, I will do some reduction. All right. The ones at 15, I'm going to put at 5 and 10 split. The ones at 10,000, I'm going to make it a 2,500, 7,500 split. All right, it's going to be under intensive level supervision with the following conditions. 1, defendant must report to his supervision officer as instructed. That means, sir, you're reporting that you're supposed to report. I'm going to fill that reporting. 2, you may not be rearrested for any new offenses while this case is pending. 3, you're not allowed to possess or consume illegal drugs or alcohol, and you're going to be subject to some random urinalysis and breath analysis. Please note that if you manage to post your bonds, you're going to be reporting both the PR bond officer and your probation officer, okay? Also, though, I don't know what, and I need to give you the heads up of this. I don't know if Judge Navarrete is going to issue a warrant for your arrest, because by getting arrested for these charges, they constitute a violation. So she may well issue a warrant for your arrest with no bond. So don't be shocked if that happens, okay? Right now, Ms. Lopez is going to ask you some questions as to how to get a hold of you.
Thank you, Judge. Sir, do you have an email address?
Yes, it is luis.gallegos420@gmail.com.
Do you have a phone number for a friend or relative?
Yes, my mom's 915-240-6283.
And what's your full name?
Silvia Martinez Gallegos.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Ms. Lopez, I hope you heard that name because I didn't.
Next.
Next is Mr. Gomez Elohim.
Mr. Gomez is here. I believe it's a motion to revoke his probation if I recall correctly, on a charge of driving while intoxicated. Okay. Yeah, motion to revoke his probation out of County Criminal Court Law number 1. Let's see, his permanent attorney is Jesus Olivas, but for purposes of this hearing, sir, you are going to be represented by Ms. Quevedo from the Public Defender's Office. She'll present evidence on behalf to try and convince me to lower your bond. Then I'm going to hear from the prosecutor, and then Ms. Calhoun, and then I'll make my decision as to what happens to bond. Go ahead, Ms. Quevedo.
Thank you, Judge. Your Honor, Mr. Gomez indicated that he lives at 9430 Conejo Lane with a housemate. He is originally from California. He has been here in El Paso for about 2 years. He studied graphic design in California. He originally came to El Paso because his wife was stationed at Fort Bliss. He himself was in the Army as well from 2017 to 2020 and discharged honorably. He indicated that he had signed a release for the bonding company to come get his money, but for whatever reason, they weren't able to. He's not sure why. So he is respectfully requesting a PR bond or a bond reduction, whatever relief, if any, the court should find fitting. Thank you, Judge.
Pretty much in terms of priors, it's DWI West is this, and it's got some other stuff out of Kansas. I'm not going to get into. Basically, the basis for the MTR is he didn't report starting, I guess, from December to February this year, didn't report. Then he didn't do community service, didn't do community service, didn't pay, didn't do DWI school, and didn't do BIP. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a split bond, 2,000 cash surety, 3,000 PR bond, with the following conditions, sir. First of all, if you get out, you're going to have to be reporting both to your PR bond officer and to your probation officer. Okay, you managed to post your bonds, so you're going to be reporting to 2 places, so there's no confusion about that. Okay, so when your PR bond conditions are going to be as follows: 1, you must report to your PR bond officer as instructed. That means you're reporting and they're supposed to report, sir. Now, when you figure out reporting, condition number 2, on any car you are driving, you must install a camera ignition interlock device in which you're going to be blowing every time you're driving. Make sure you're not drinking. If you're not operating any cars, you must obtain a portable unit. You're going to be tested several times. Hold on a second. 3, you're not allowed to possess illegal drugs or alcohol. You're going to be subject to random urine analysis, and you cannot commit any new offenses while this case is pending. What is your question?
Your Honor, I did get a Intoxilog, and I did complete the MAD VIP class, and I'm waiting to get my COVID vaccine so I can get 40 hours of community service for that.
Again, that's something you need to address with your trial when you go see Judge Perez in that court, sir. But right now, this is what your bond is right now, okay? All I know is I have sworn allegations by your probation officer that this is what you didn't do. So I gotta go by that. You're your attorney. Have to go address this with Judge Perez and see what she wants to do, sir. But this is my ruling on your bond: 2,000 cash surety, 3,000 PR bond, with the conditions that I just explained to you, sir. Thank you. Ms. Lopez is going to ask you some questions.
Thank you, Judge. Sir, do you have a phone number where we can contact you?
Yes, it's 661-303-9067.
Do you have an email address?
Yes, it's Faze, F-A-Z-E, cloud 24@icloud.com.
And do you have a phone number for a friend or relative?
Yes, my friend is Melody Tejas. It's going to be 657 472 7313.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Next.
Last one, Sanchez Jose. George.
Take him out here, please. Okay. So Mr. Sanchez is here on two PR bond revocations out of two, on a misdemeanor court, a felony court. He's got one resisting arrest, search, or transportation out of a county court, criminal court number 3. And then he's got one out of the 168 district court, which is Lizarra, with a $7,500 bond. On the misdemeanor case, is $5,000 bond. His permanent attorney is Justin Underwood, but for purposes of hearing, he's being represented by Ms. Quevedo from the Public Defender's Office. He's going to present evidence on your behalf to try and convince me to lower your bonds. Then I'm going to hear from the prosecutor, Ms. Calhoun, then I'll make my decision. Basically, the allegation is failed to report since he got released on July of 2023. Ms. Quevedo, go ahead.
Thank you, Judge. I'm sorry, who was this?
Sanchez. Jose.
Thank you, Judge. Your Honor, in terms of the, let me see, PR revo, Mr. Sanchez indicated that he didn't know he had to report. Adam's notes indicate mental health concerns. Mr. Sanchez states he lives on North Loop, but he doesn't know the address. He's lived his entire life here in El Paso. He attended Canutillo High School. He indicated that he has his parents as well as siblings here in El Paso. Again, they're just repeated notes indicating Mr. Sanchez's difficulty responding to these questions. He indicated he gets mental health treatment, but doesn't know for what or with whom. He is asking for a PR bond or any relief the court might find fitting. Thank you, Judge.
Yes, all that cannot give him PR money, even if I wanted to, okay? All right. Yes, all peace officer judge, I'm just gonna put it 2,000. The resisting, I'll put at 750, and then see what comes out of all this. Thank you. All right, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Our farmer should be online already, Judge.
All right, no, she should be, yeah, I see you there, okay. All right, well, I think we have one more mail to do, but he's in the second floor, and then we go into the female floor. Who's this? You're in the female floor right now, all right.
Yes, I'm with Nancy Aguilar.
So Ms. Aguilar is here on a charge of possession of controlled substance, penalty group 1. Any amount greater than 1 gram is less than 4 grams is a third-degree felony with a $1,500 bond. Her permanent attorney is Francisco Macias. For purposes of considering him, you are being represented by the Public Defender's Office through Ms. Quevedo. She's going to present evidence on your behalf. Try and convince me to lower your bond. Then I'm going to hear from the prosecutor, Ms. Calhoun. Then I'll make my decision as to what happens to your bond. Go ahead, Ms. Quevedo.
Thank you, Judge. Your Honor, Ms. Aguilar indicated.
Ms. Calhoun, Ms. Quevedo, you're kind of fading again, sorry.
Ms. Aguilar indicated, Judge, that she's lived in El Paso her entire life. She would respectfully request to be sent to the shelter through reentry should she be released. She attended Coronado High School where she completed up to the 9th grade. She is respectfully requesting a PR bond or any relief the court might find fitting. She can be reached at 915-975-7975, which is her daughter Ruby Gaitan's phone number. Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Calhoun, prior criminal history?
Yes, Your Honor, what I'm seeing. Okay, this is Aguilar Nancy. I'm seeing, actually, no. There's pending cases, definitely. From last year.
Ms. Lopez, I show she's on a PR bond on I'm not going to mention the charge, but she's on a PR bond on another charge. What can you tell me?
Yes, Judge, she was placed under administrative conditions and she was placed on October 17th of 2024.
Yeah, I guess the case has not been filed because it's still in pre-trial. All right. Do not submit an NOV on that one, okay? All right, ma'am, you're going to be releasing a PR bond, but you listen very carefully because these are going to be your conditions of bond, okay? You must follow each and every one of these conditions because if you don't, your bond will be revoked. You come back to jail on a much higher bond. If you come back in front of me, you're not going to get another bond reduction because you're already out on 2 separate PR bonds. I don't do 3 out of 3. Okay? Condition number 1, you must report to your PR bond officer as instructed. That means you gotta come in or call them in on the day you're supposed to, not when you feel like reporting. 2, you cannot be rearrested for any new offenses while this case is pending. That's one of your conditions on your first PR bond. Okay? But I'm not going to revoke your first PR bond. Condition number 3, you're not allowed to possess or consume illegal drugs or alcohol. And when you report to PR bond officer, they're going to be testing you to make sure you are not using. Do you understand?
Yes.
Right now, Ms. Lopez is going to ask you some questions as to how to get a hold of you.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge. Ma'am, do you have an email address where we can contact you?
Yes.
Okay.
It's going to be LATRIPS 915. Actually, it's not 915, it's 2025 @gmail.com.
And do you have a phone number for a friend or relative?
My daughter's?
Okay, and what was her full name?
It's Ruby Angelina Gaitan.
Okay, and you do not have a personal phone number?
No.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Judge, what is the level of supervision?
Enhanced.
Thank you.
I have Shelley Hall next.
Thank you. All right, so we have Shirley Amber Hall here on a charge, I believe it's a charge of criminal trespass of a habitation, class A misdemeanor with a bond of $500. The permanent attorney is, let me go back over. It's Cesar Lozano, but for purposes of this hearing, ma'am, you are being represented by Ms. Quevedo from the Public Defender's Office. She's gonna present evidence on your behalf to try and convince me to lower your bond. Then I'm gonna hear from the prosecutor, and then I will make a decision as to what happens to your bond. All right, Ms. Quevedo, go ahead.
Thank you, Judge. Your Honor, Ms. Hall indicated that she lives with her daughter at 350 North Festival, number 609. She's lived most of her life in El Paso. She indicated she did high school in New York and then college in Pennsylvania. She is working for People Ready. She has no money to post. She has phone number 915-710-1909 where she can be reached. She is respectfully requesting a PR bond or any relief the court might find fitting. Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Calhoun, prior criminal history.
Yes, Judge, I am seeing here, this is Ms. Hall. Felony possession, criminal trespass, and pending case.
All right. Basically, this happens, she goes to somebody's house, it's locked and gated. She basically forces her way into the house. The owner wasn't not very happy about it, and then they arrested her. She claimed that she thought somebody was on burritos or something like that, if I recall correctly. It's weird. Anyway, this is gonna be a PR bond under enhanced level supervision with the following conditions. So you listen very carefully, man, because I'm not playing games with you, okay? You must follow these conditions of PR bond. Otherwise, your PR bond will be revoked and you come back to jail on a much higher bond. Simple as that. Condition number one, you must report to your PR bond officer as instructed. That means you report on that day you're supposed to report, not when you feel like reporting. Condition number two, you cannot commit any new offenses while this case is pending. Condition number 3 and 4, you're not allowed to possess illegal drugs or alcohol, and you're going to be tested to make sure you're not using. And